Hello, Alejandro.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I am good. How are you today? Sorry for being a little late. My other reservation went over a little bit.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Um, well, something happened. For example, don't call me the company that I I that there was going to my
Okay.
application. Um, but I call me another company of Argentina
Okay.
and change change my priorities.
Okay.
But I want to prepare this kind of interview, but not with so urgently.
Okay.
No, so
Right. So
um,
so the preparing for the interview is kind of, as we say in America, on the back burner. It's not gone, but it's a lower priority now.
yes. What is a expression?
On the back burner.
All
It
right.
comes from the idea like when you are cooking and the main thing you cook on the front of the stove,
Hmm.
and when you just want to keep it warm, you move it to the back of the stove so that you can
Hmm.
prepare something else in the front. So when our priorities change in life,
All
something
right,
is
all
still
right.
important. It's still important. We don't take it off. We just put it on the back burner, meaning it's still there. I want to do it, but it's not the priority today.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's kind of like a metaphor or an idiom.
All right, all right. However, I prepare this part of tell me about yourself, like you recommended me.
Okay.
Um, I previously I like to make a question. For example, if this kind of preparation very minutiously and very it's not a little rigid, a little um, few flexible, and if arise an imprevist, maybe I don't know what answer. What do you think about this?
Well, and yes, by preparing for the interview, and it doesn't matter if you're interviewing in English or interviewing in your first language, for you, Spanish.
All right.
It's helpful to prepare an answer for the common questions
Mm,
so that it's almost like planting seeds in the garden. By preparing, the
mm.
thoughts are planted in your mind, so when you have an interview, you're not blank. You have
Oh, right.
ideas.
Yes.
Yes, it's very helpful for any interview.
Yes.
The only difference is which language you prepare prepare the answers in.
Yes. Yes,
But that,
coincido. ¿Cómo se dice coincido contigo? Coincidir. Como con
I
match.
follow you. We say I follow you, literally.
All
Consigue.
right. I follow you. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
because I think consigue, I'm not mistaken,
o
is
coincidir. Que está, que estoy de acuerdo contigo. Eso quiere decir.
right. I
Agree
agree.
with
Yes, I
you.
agree with you.
I
Or
agree with you. Te sigo es que te entiendo. I follow you. It's mean I understand you.
yes. Yes, I'm understanding everything that you're saying. And yeah, de acuerdo is I agree with you.
All right. All right.
Yes.
Well, I like to um, tell my preparation in tell about yourself.
Okay. I'm ready to listen.
Well, yes. Well, my name is Alejandro Carballo. I am a full stack developer and I based on Santa Fe, Argentina. By the side of the backend, I am well versed on Django, the web framework of Python. By the side of the frontend, I am very familiar with Angular, the web framework of the JavaScript. Um, I manage um, um, the technologies, complementary technologies from this framework, like, for example, SQL, REST API, and many other technologies like Git, GitHub, Bootstrap, etc. Well, I I have been preparing in the spoken English for apply for companies like yours. Um, um, in now I speak in terms of the laboral experience. I experience um, like freelance developer, and I have experience in all the stack of deal with the client. For example, detect opportunities in the market and um, make a generic software for this target. Later, um, I get outside for sell this generic software and take the requirements of the client for personalize the software, and likely make the service postals. I have experience too, like a team worker in my last job in a company of the e-commerce here in Santa Fe. When where I worked with tools like tracker, another system of follow the hours worked, like GitHub, GitLab, and another system of follow this time and these requirements of the client, and speech speech writing with the client and with the team, the develop team. Well, I believe that my skills match perfectly with your requirements, and I open for your question for demonstrate that I say. I don't know. What do you think about this?
That's a good base answer.
Mm,
What I would do, because it's very, very long, very detailed. What you can do is when you are interviewing with a specific company and you have the job requirements,
mm,
only include those parts in your tell me about yourself. So
mm,
you mentioned all the frameworks and
technology.
applications and technologies you're familiar with.
Mm,
So
mm,
if they mention those in the job requirement, definitely keep them in your answer. But if you have knowledge or skill in an area that doesn't show in their requirements, you can
mm.
leave it out in that answer
All right.
to shorten your tell me about yourself.
All right.
Because
I,
if your
I,
answer is too long, the person will tune out. They will get lost and like they'll be like, "Is he finished yet?"
all right. All right. What is the word live? Palabra frasa verb. De live, como que dije, what do you say? Live,
Dejar, leave,
live, live out.
leave out. Dejo.
All right, all right.
The things that
Uh,
no aplica.
all right, all right. Um, the speech it would have tailored for the
For the job.
requirements of the
Yeah,
company.
exactly.
All right.
Um,
Well,
and then
I keep.
I do have some, I took some notes over here. I'm going to share them. So I started with your first sentence. I am based in Santa Fe. So we say I am based. Estoy
Mm,
basado. I am
uh-huh.
based in Santa Fe. And you said, how did you? Because you were saying you were talking about specifically with backend.
Mm,
So the way I would introduce that, it says when it comes to the backend, I am experienced in this framework, this language. So I could say when it comes to the backend, or when it comes to the front end, or I could also say in regards to backend development, I am skilled in PHP, Python, uh, Cake framework. Give those details. So use when it comes to or in regards to front end, back end.
but we with answer me, question me, what tell about yourself. I compress this speech to backend and frontend.
Well, and it depends
Only.
because maybe the job you are applying for is
Mm,
looking for a full stack developer. So they want to know that you have skills in certain back end technology and certain
mm.
front end technology. So you
Yes,
still
yes.
might use that. When it comes to back end, I am well versed in boom, boom, boom. And in regards to the front end, these are my areas I have skill in, or something like that. So it's when it comes to or in regards to introduce back end or front end and the specific skills you have in that area.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay.
Um,
And there was two of them. One was you said for apply and for demonstrate. In English, we say to apply
mm,
and to demonstrate. The
All right.
the 4 and 2 are tricky in English. When to use them. It's much easier in Spanish. You have por and para.
Sí, 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 yes.
It's much easier. And I would describe myself as a freelance developer. Or I have been working
Another
as a.
confusion is as and like.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's like if you say estoy funcionando. Perdón mi deletreo.
No, it's right.
Como un freelancer.
Uh-huh.
Como in this instant as.
As, right.
Yeah. Translation is a pain. Then what the part about working well with a team, I work well with a team, or I am a team player. It's a phrase we use in English to talk about I can work in a team. I can coordinate with the teammates to get the project finished.
All right.
And then you were talking about the applications you might use. You gave specific ones. I wasn't familiar with them, so I couldn't catch the name. But project management software, that's the software or the application you use to track the budget, the timing, the development stages, all that.
I don't understand very well the last part.
Okay, when you were talking about coordinating the development using an application, I don't remember the application you said you were familiar with.
Right.
But well, I know GitHub is one. Development.
It was GitLab.
GitLab.
We use GitLab, no GitHub. Yes.
Yeah. So we can call that a development management software or application or project management. When you're introducing it, I said I'm familiar with using, and you could just say management applications like GitLab or other ones you're familiar with.
All right. Tracker. Do you know a tracker application?
I'm not familiar with Tracker. But I can imagine with a name like Tracker.
It's a ticket system for conversation in TN and in client, etc.
Okay. So is that one more related for client conversations?
And with client and with TM. Because the conversation can be public or private. Okay. And then with the client, the conversation is public, but with the team, sometimes it's private.
Okay. I can't even find anything on Tracker. Finding things about baby tracking and GPS tracking.
All right. I don't like this system because they was very restricted with the hours worked.
Okay.
They make a system for metric metric.
Yeah. Metrics are a
pain. Measure rendiment. Measure el rendimiento,
the
el de
development or the amount of
effectivity,
conversation.
the effectivity measure the effectivity between the hours reported and the hours paid by the client. It's not very well for me. It's very pressure, very.
Yeah, I had a company for a long time. I was working for a company, and I just did what needed to be done. I would report to my boss, "Oh, I need to go over here and do this, or I need to do this." But, polite and respectful. But then the company was having some financial difficulty, and they implemented an app like this where they track metrics and where your hours are being spent. And as soon as they made me start entering every day, 10 a.m. did this, 11 a.m. did this, I said, my job's gone. They're gonna the job's going away. So I started looking.
Yes. Oh, tell me about your experience like freelance. For example, I have a really not like a freelance in a internet. No, I freelance like in a specific market.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I follow this project in a page like Upwork, but in Spanish, Workana. Workana is a page of project and the freelancer, etc. And
Okay.
I realized that it's a kind of job very particular because um, the hours is very disparejas, very for example, when I had to be present when a project rise for apply for this project and start first and follow the conversation. It's like a period of fish, this project, no?
Yeah, I understand.
And two, I like, I realize that it's a very competitive, very mature market in the sense of um, there is to have everything everything set for offer to the client a perfect solution. For example, if a landing page, well, if I have competitive, if I want to competitive in this target, um, I would have to prepare a solution very well for game with another competitors. And I don't know, what do you think about this?
It is very competitive, which um, for me in freelancing, I have focused more on relationships through social media.
Mm,
I belong to several groups on Facebook,
mm.
which are related to my target market, the people that I want to
Oh,
work with. So I have gone in those groups, and when questions get asked, simple questions, that I can answer easily. Like, you know, it could be something simple like, how do I change this font to this? You know, I'm in some groups that are related to certain web themes for WordPress, and people ask questions in there. They're like, oh, I'm trying to build my website and I can't get this to work. So I give them a little help or a little advice for free. And I build a relationship with them.
Right.
Sometimes I pick up a quick job, and then I make them happy with the small job, and then they call me when the big job comes, the bigger job. But most of my jobs are very, very small. My biggest job was a 5-page website, simple website, a map, registration form, a description page. And I think it was a page for like for biographies about the speakers. And that took several weeks, and I got repeat work every 6 months because they would have a new event, so we had to update the events. That was probably my biggest. I work a lot of small projects. I'm the small guy. So I kind of have a unique market because a lot of people don't want to do the small jobs. They want the big job.
All right. It gave you a lot of liberty.
Yes.
You are built a system for liberty.
Right. I've built a network, and it's good because I've worked with people in the past, or I helped them in the past, and time passes and they have a need and they're like, oh, I remember that Shawn guy. He helped me back then. Let me go talk to him and see if he can do this project for me.
All right.
And then lots of referrals, because you have happy customers. They talk to their friends when they have a similar problem. And sometimes it got me a job, and other times it didn't. You know, I had one customer, I did a website optimization because her load time on the website was 12 seconds for the page. Way too long. They say after 3 minutes, people leave.
Yes.
Or 3 seconds. You have 3 seconds to get your page up.
Right.
Maybe 6. 6 on the long side. But this page was taking over 11 seconds. So I did a job for her, optimizing the page, fixing the code, getting rid of some of the problems with the JavaScript and image optimization, and putting a SSL.
All right.
So she referred me to a friend who needed SSL and couldn't figure it out. The friend, I gave her my price. She said she didn't answer, so her loss.
All right. Well, what do you think about my English in this lesson? Do you think that I improved with
Your answer was much better this time? Yes. You're doing much better.
Maybe it's because I trust in myself a little more.
Yeah, trusting in yourself and confidence will improve your English more quickly than anything else.
All right. Well, for the próxima conversation with you, I prepare another kind of question for the interview. like what is your weakness or what is your strong is a strength or anything else.
Yes.